Hi guys, welcome to my channel Creatively Expressive. My name is Amy and today is the last of a series of 3 videos I have featuring farmhouse style home decor DIYs. I have some really cool ideas for you, so I hope you'll stick around to see them all. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me, and I hope you'll consider becoming a part of my creative family by subscribing to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, and I just want to say that I really do appreciate your continued support. Now let's get started. For our first project, I will be using 3 of these wooden plaques that I bought on Amazon, these light up farm animals from Dollar Tree, and 3 of these bunny wall hangers from Dollar Tree. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the backs off of these farm animal lights because I only want the front pieces for this project. The cow and the pig fit perfectly on these 9x6 plaques, but the chicken is just a little too tall for them, but I have a simple fix for that. I'm just going to place my chicken on the plaque where I want it, hold it in place, and then turn the plaque over and use my pencil to trace the bottom of that plaque onto the back of the chicken. Now I will just use an X-Acto knife to cut along that line that I traced and cut away the extra area on the chicken. Now this step is optional. I'm just going to sand off the paper that is on the animals to make them easier to paint, but you could just paint over that if you wanted to. Once I have done that, I'm going to paint each of my animals with white chalk paint. And now I'm going to paint each of my plaques with black chalk paint. Once the black paint has dried, I'm going to very lightly dry brush white chalk paint over my plaques to make them look almost like a chalkboard. While the white paint is drying, I'm going to remove the hangers from these bunnies. I only want the hangers for this project, and I will save the bunnies for another project. Now I am placing the hangers on the backs of the plaques and using a thumbtack to mark where I need my holes to go. Then I will use my screwdriver to screw on my hangers. Once all my hangers are attached to my plaques, I am going to use some Starbond super glue to attach my animals to the fronts of my plaques. And now this project is complete. You could use these to hang kitchen towels on, your keys on, or any other lightweight item you can think of. Let me know what you guys think of this project. For project number 2, I am using these farm animal wood cutouts that I got from Walmart and 2 long signs with grooves in them that I got from the Dollar Tree. So first I sand the glitter off of my signs, and now I'm going to cut off that area at the top of the signs that have the holes in them. Now I'm going to use these jumbo craft sticks from Walmart to attach my 2 signs together. I just put a piece of painter's tape in the center of the signs to hold them together, and then I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and hot glue to glue those craft sticks to the backs of my signs. Now I'm going to use some 3/8" square dowels that I got from Lowe's and some wooden yardsticks that I got from Dollar General that are 3/4 of an inch thick to make a frame for my sign. Now I'm going to paint the sign with black chalk paint. Once the black paint has dried, I'm going to try the crackle paint technique for the very first time. So I'm going to water down some school glue a bit. I don't have exact amounts because I was just eyeballing it. But I just wanted my glue to be a little bit thinner to make it easier to brush onto my sign. And now I'm just going to brush on that watered down glue over the entire sign. Then I wait 5 to 10 minutes so the glue is tacky but not completely dry. And then I'm going to brush a layer of white chalk paint over the sign. And you're going to want to try to use as few strokes as possible. Also, something that I learned after doing this is that the spots where I went heavier with the white paint crackled more than the spots where I went lighter. Once the entire sign is covered with white paint, you can take a heat gun or a hairdryer set to a hot setting and start drying the paint. As the paint starts to dry, you will see it start to crackle. And just be careful not to hold it in one place for too long because your paint will start to bubble up. I learned this from experience. Now I'm going to paint my farm animals with black chalk paint. And once the black paint is dry, I'm going to dry brush the animals with white chalk paint. To dry brush, you just dip the brush in a little paint, then tap off the excess paint. Then you run your almost dry brush over the surface you are wanting to paint. Go lightly because you can always add more if you think you need to, but you can't take it away if you go too heavy. So now I'm going to work on my frame. Each side of the frame will have two pieces, a thinner piece, the 3/8" thick, and a thicker piece, the 3/4 inch thick. I'm going to stain all 8 pieces with antique wax. I just brush the wax on with a paintbrush and then wipe off the excess with a baby wipe. And then once I have stained all my frame pieces, I am going to dry brush them with white chalk paint. Now I'm going to attach all my frame pieces to my picture. So first I will use Starbond super glue to glue the thinner pieces to the top of my picture. And then I will glue the thicker frame pieces to the sides of the thinner frame pieces, being sure to line up the back edges of the frame pieces with each other. If I were to make this again, I would use something other than the garden stakes from Dollar General for my thicker pieces, because they were super wonky, which made it difficult to attach them to my sign. So just make sure you find wood that is fairly straight and not bowed like mine. Now that the frame is attached, I am going to use that same Starbond glue to attach my farm animals to the front of my sign. Now I cut out Farm Fresh out of Stencil Vinyl for the top of my sign, and Eggs, Milk, and Bacon for the bottom of my sign. And then I'm going to use my parchment paper and transfer tape to attach my stencil to my sign. Once I have my stencils placed, I am going to first paint over them with a layer of Mod Podge to seal in the edges and to prevent any paint from bleeding through. After the Mod Podge has dried, I'm going to paint over my stencil with black chalk paint. And then once the black paint has dried, I will remove my stencil. And once I have done that, my sign is complete. What do you guys think of this one? For our third and final project, I will be using this cutting board phone stand that I found at Goodwill. So the first thing I did was sand off that world's best mom. I think I'm a pretty good mom, but I don't know about being the world's best. So we're just going to sand that away. Now I'm going to use antique wax to stain the entire stand. I will just brush the wax on with a paintbrush and then wipe it off with a baby wipe. This project was inspired by a cutting board sign that I saw on Pinterest, and I will show you that one in my final reveal. Now that the wax has dried, I am going to dry brush on some black chalk paint in certain areas of my stand. Then I'm going to use a font called X Typewriter to design a stencil in my Silhouette studio for my stand. And then I use parchment paper and transfer tape to attach my stencil to my stand. Then I will paint a layer of Mod Podge over my stencil first to prevent any bleed through. And after the Mod Podge has dried, I will paint on white chalk paint using a chip brush to give my lettering a distressed look. And then once the paint is dry, I will peel away my stencil. Then I decide to sand the lettering just a bit to add a little more distressing. And I don't show it on video, but I take my stand outside and I spray it with Mod Podge sealer to protect my stand. And here's a side-by-side of the Pinterest inspiration and my version. What do you guys think? Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope it's inspired you. If you did enjoy the DIYs that I've shared with you today, then please show me some love by giving me a thumbs up, commenting, or even sharing this video with anyone that you think might enjoy it. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!